Welcome back to Kicking It. This is the part of the show where we have a martial arts celebrity. Today, we have Randy Palmer from South Austin Gym. Welcome to the show, Randy.
Thanks a bunch, Dave.
And we've had him on before. He's great. He's going to give us 3 training tips today like he did last time. And I have a few questions for him before he does that. First question is, what is the most important aspect of training in the martial arts? I mean, overall martial arts.
I'd say the most important thing in all martial arts training is honesty. Because if you're going to get anywhere with your sport, whether it's your conditioning, your training, you have to be honest with yourself and find out what exactly works. When I say honesty, what I mean is with your training methods have to be appropriate to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Everyone comes into the gym for different reasons. Some people come in because they're bored with their workouts. Some people come in because they want to get in better shape. Some people want to be able to defend themselves. Some people come here because they want to compete. So there's a lot of different reasons why people come in to train. So being honest with yourself and understanding is what I'm doing today going to help me get to where I want to be tomorrow. So one of the best things, I can say, one of the best ways you can train yourself is to start by training what's inside your subconscious. It's like if I take my subconscious mind, it's huge like this gym, and my fist is only my conscious mind because I can only think one thought at a time. So when you're training, you have to learn how to train, get whatever you're doing starting from the inside, and that's what's going to make your training the most successful.
Yeah, I've heard you mention before, you have to train that inner warrior.
Exactly.
Exactly. That would be the subconscious mind or the inner warrior that you
that determines all your actions. And when you see people do things that it seems like, wow, how'd that guy actually do that? What it means is that person's trained so much, they no longer have to think about what they do.
Exactly.
So part of what we're going to do today with the training drills is I'm going to talk about how these different tools that we use here work and how they make you, use your subconscious to where you're trained so well that you don't have to think about what you're doing, which is the most important thing.
Right. And how many times have we and other fighters done something, a heel kick, a turn heel kick, or an incredible takedown, and people go, that was fantastic, how'd you do that? And you're like, you don't have an answer.
We don't have an idea.
I have no idea.
Just the training.
Yeah, the training.
There you go.
Thank God. But,
that's it.
Yeah. All right, I have another question for you.
Okay.
All right. What is the difference between, there's a lot of talk about, I want to get in pretty good shape and I want to be able to defend myself on the street. And then there's people that, like us, that train competitors, point karate, jiu-jitsu training, the Naga competitions and stuff. I even have wrestlers at my gym, boxers. And so we're kind of the sport aspect of the martial arts. And then there's the karate, maybe, hand-to-hand combat, boot camp type stuff. Would you explain to me, what do you think, what is the difference between the sport karate and this like Krav Maga and come in and learn, combat training?
So what we got to do is we got to look at it like this. There's a basic level we got to take it down to. We got to look at what the variables are when we talk about this. So what we got to talk about first is what we do. We do sport. So in any sport, you have rules, where you're punching, who you're fighting, how many people you're fighting. For kickboxing, we fight in a ring. Jiu-jitsu, we might be on the mats. So there's a time limit, there's a score, so there's light in the facility, so there's a lot of things, the variables are going to be set. So that's sport training, set variables. Now the other side of that, when you talk about someone attacking, you're actually defending yourself. You don't know who you're fighting, you don't know when you're fighting, you don't know how many people, if it's even people that you're fighting in the first place. They might have weapons. They'll usually have a plan if it is people attacking you. There's no set terrain. You could be fighting in water. You could be fighting on asphalt. You don't know. So the truth is there are no variables when you talk about being able to defend yourself. So the only real place you can get real training for that would be like a military camp. So the flip side of the coin, if we look at sport training, even though we have time limits, we have, set rules that we follow. If you think about some of the most dangerous human beings on earth, they're typically going to be people that train in here, because the only place you can get training that's going to be safe enough to preserve your body, but yet violent enough to be able to give you an aspect of what it feels like to really fight, it's going to be in a sport, in a ring, where you actually take punishment and deliver punishment. So if you're looking to defend yourself, the safest way to get very strong very quickly is to do sport, because all you have to do is manipulate a couple of rules, and then all of a sudden you're a warrior, someone that can train in real combat.
And another thing I'd like to add is if you're in the sport karate, you're taught to go, you don't stop, you don't quit, you're driven.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're taught combat karate, you do a drill 10 times or 20 times each time you come in. there's no attitude.
Yeah, that depends on which school you go to.
Well, that does. You know, there are some. Some
No, I know what you're saying, Steve. Absolutely.
But I mean, a lot in sport karate, you're taught to go beyond your limits. And
well, that's huge in any martial art, you know, being able to push yourself, your willpower, and your determination, you know, your ability to stick to your training and your ability to continue to go forward when you think you need to stop.
Exactly.
You know, that's one of the things that, you know, martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, you know, all the different sport martial arts we talk about, those are the valuable lessons that they teach us.
And the basic deal, the thing with self-defense versus a sport karate, you're being attacked in both places. You're being attacked.
Exactly.
It is violent movement coming towards your body. If you're in the best shape you can be in, and you have experienced this in a ring where someone's hitting you with 75 to 80% of their power, and throwing combinations at you and stuff, you will develop quickness to where anything on the street is going to be a little bit slower because they're not trained. Most people that are thugs on the street aren't really trained. It's not like they make their workout every day. All right. So they're going to be a little slower and they're not going to be as quick. And being in a ring, working in a ring, whether it's doing groundwork, stand-up, boxing, kickboxing, you are training to react to violent movement coming towards your body.
Yeah,
Period.
I totally agree with everything you're saying, but I'd say this, to add to what you're saying, the most important thing that you learn when you learn abilities like that is you learn respect. Because anybody can hurt you, anybody can do anything, you know, anybody could pick up a stick or sneak up and hit you. You know, so respect, once you learn about how to use the skills when you're training in a ring, and you learn to respect people that have the ability and, you know, are trained to be able to punch, you know, that's huge.
Right.
You know, so that's why we only use martial arts for the right reasons.
Exactly. And I mean, I concur. We're not in the martial arts to enforce anything or to be bullies or to train, arrogance to our people and stuff. We train people. The number one combination I feel in the martial arts is to find someone that's totally humble and very, very powerful and knows his business. You show me someone that has the most humblest attitude walking the planet and is absolutely devastating in the ring, and I will show you a champion in life. I'll show you a champion in the ring, out of the ring. Wherever he goes, he wins. Wouldn't you agree?
Couldn't agree with you more, Steve. And I tell you what, you know, if y'all are interested, up here at the South Austin Gym, you can look us up on southaustingym.com. We're actually going to be doing Capital City Heroes. We're doing live amateur boxing here. Thanks so much for letting me be on your show, man. I look forward to working with you again in the future.
You are always a pleasure to talk to. Like I said, I could talk to this guy indefinitely. He's got a lot to say. And hey, good luck on those fights. And we will be here. We're going to film some of those fights too, and you'll be able to see a couple of them on our show. All right, hey Randy, can you show us those 3 training tips you promised us today?
Absolutely. Let's go and do it.